Welcome to our D&D server. I'm about to give you a tutorial on everything we offer here on our server. First thing you're going to do when you enter is there's going to be a little welcome message that pops up. If you're listening to this video, then that means you have taken the initiative to click on that video, and that's a great job. You're already on the right track. Second thing you're going to do is you're going to take a look at the message. There's a little bit of a message in that welcome message. It essentially points you to where you should look. First thing you should do is look in the rules channel up here on the top left. You may not have access to all of the different text channels here. That's because you haven't indicated whether or not you're interested, but just know that there's a lot more there than what you see currently. First thing you're going to do, you're going to take a look at the rules channel, and this will give you an overview of our entire D&D server. So essentially, at the end of reading through the rules channel, you'll have a good idea whether or not you're interested or whether or not you're not interested. First thing you're going to take a look at is the campaign charter. Campaign charter is the link up here. It will show you to our roughly 10 to 15 pages of everything that we do essentially on this campaign. It's the Kingdom of Torrent campaign, Battle for Torrent. Most of it is optional reading, just optional stuff that you can include to enhance your characters, to give yourself a leg up. But mostly it's just like 5 or 6 pages of basic rule stuff. Don't be a jerk, be considerate of others. How do you create your character? What is the lore around the different nations in Torrent and the continent of Pandora? What are their histories? What are their cultures? What are their races? What about magic items? What about magic in general? What about trade? So many questions that you'll have for our campaign about the lore, about the items, about our rules. Take a look at the campaign charter. It'll take care of everything. If you spot a mistake, just let me know, and I will give you a plus 50 experience bonus for your character when you start out. You start out at level 5, so start thinking about your character now. But if you spot a mistake, just let me know and you'll get that experience boost. I intentionally left a few mistakes in there just so you can get some more experience. Then you're going to take a look at these 2 YouTube links. You're wondering what's going on here. Why is there another YouTube link? Why is it welcoming me to the server again? Well, in fact, this is our kind of training series on Foundry BTT, which is kind of the system that we use instead of Roll20. And it's also a kind of link to the YouTube channel we have, which hosts all of the D&D games that we've recorded. So if you want to take a look at what we've done in the past, what you should experience in the future, then please go there, take a look. It's a lot of fun. If you could drop a like, subscribe, or maybe drop a few comments, I would really appreciate that. But that's just a little preview for what we got in store. It's going to be a great journey. Next thing you're going to take a look at is the D&D server summary. The name tells it up, tells you everything, right? There's a summary of everything we offer. Rules channel, right? Gives a description of the rules. General chat. It's just a general chat that we chat about everything. Character introduction. This is where you go to find out how to create your character. Now there are a lot of optional kind of questions that will prompt you to create a great character. A lot of players, they don't understand how to create a character. They think, okay, I'll just create a warrior, you'll have a big sword, good to go. But in fact, that's not how you get the most enjoyment out of it. You create a great character by understanding the motivations, understanding the dynamics, the flaws, the different goals that you have moving forward. So then you'll be able to understand how you're moving towards those goals, how you change your desires and your motivations as you encounter new events. Character introduction gives you a wide variety of questions that will let you enhance your character. Take a look at that when you have a chance. Here's the game schedule channel. The game schedule essentially lets you find out when we schedule our next game. You won't have access to this channel in the beginning, just because you haven't indicated whether or not you're interested or not. But just shoot me a text, shoot me a message over here indicating that you're interested, and boom, I'll grant you access to our players. Game journal is kind of the journal that we keep to record our different games. So I'll post videos on there about our previous games, and also players will provide summaries about what they saw, what they heard, what they felt, their motivations. It's a very, very great tool because it lets you kind of relive the journey long afterwards. One of the things that happens in D&D is you kind of forget about the adventures in the past, and you don't really understand the context of the situation. The game journal will let you relive those moments, and it's a great mechanic. Finally, there is the player lobby. This is one of the most important channels. This is where we kind of organize, what are you interested? What is your character interested in doing? What do you want for the next game? This is where players and DMs kind of interact together in order to craft the next mission. what usually happens is the players kind of talk to themselves until they finally decide on a mission that they want to do. They tell the DM. Me as the DM, I take about a week. I craft the mission for you, right? It's custom. I make sure that you get what you want. Make sure you get the mission type that you want. I'm not going to give you all the rewards. I'm going to put a little bit of a twist in there. But essentially, it'll be the theme of the mission that you want. If you want an assassination mission, then I'm going to make it an assassination theme. This is great because it gives the player agency to decide exactly what you want, exactly what mission you want. It's fantastic, trust me. Next is role-playing lobby. So if you ever want to role-play your character, this is the place to do it. You have that option. Improvements lobby. This is where we kind of have a little chat room, discuss how we can improve the game. Most of the time it's just complimenting people on a job well done. This is the bots channel. We have a lot of bots here that we use, so I recommend muting this channel when you have a chance, first thing you do. But keep the other channels unmuted, keep the server unmuted, because there's a lot of different messages here that you want to make sure you find. And then there's these two links down here, getting started. So we also host a Game of Thrones inspired diplomacy game and a strategy resource management game. It's very cool. We can do that in our downtime. It'll give you a ton of rewards, gold, influence, and the ability to affect the campaign outside of the game, which is fantastic. There's an option for people that don't have a lot of time. You could probably spend like 10-15 minutes on this a week. Not a lot of time, but you still get the rewards. Or if you want to take a more leadership position, then you could be a house leader, which is kind of a leader of a player-led team, and you can compete on the Game of Thrones game to become the king or queen. It's a very cool mechanic. It's a combination of Game of Thrones and Civilization, if you've ever played those games. Very fun. I recommend clicking on this button, taking a look at that, and look at those details when you have a chance. Next thing you're going to take a look at is we also host an opportunity for players to craft NPCs, monsters, factions, locations of interest, and to even become a DM. So yeah, if you've ever wanted to give that a try, create a cool NPC to interact with, maybe a trader, maybe a knight, maybe a magician, maybe a wizard, maybe a sorcerer, maybe a golem, maybe a gnome. Whatever you want, you can create it, and we'll throw it into the next campaign mission whenever we have a chance. Monsters, if you ever wanted to fight a really tough monster, but you know that DM doesn't like running those monsters, just create it in the monsters section and I'll run it. Sounds great. I want to make sure everyone has fun in this game. Then of course there's factions, locations of interest. Gosh, factions, right? There's so many possibilities here. Thieves, rogues, pirates, raiders, magicians, a witch's coven. So many different options here, so many awesome things. Click this link, you'll get access to how we create them. And of course, locations of interest, and then how to become a DM. So when you take a look at how to become a DM, you'll find out that there are examples and there's a DM guide. Very easy. There's a 10-minute video in there. Take a look at it's like 10-minute video plus 20 minutes of reading, and then there's an example walking you through how to DM. Super easy, and if you don't know how to DM, by the end of 30 minutes, you'll know how to DM. It's super easy, super awesome, super fun. And we make sure there's a really easy learning curve. We start you off, creating just a 45-minute text-based adventure, just so you can understand the basics. And after that, it's easy from there. This is a brief overview of the type of players that we're looking for. We're looking for collaborative players, not consumer players. When do we play? This is a West Marches style game, so that means that it's not a railroaded game. The DM doesn't tell you exactly what he wants. Instead, you tell the DM what you want, and then I'll kind of create that game for you. And so what happens is essentially when 3 to 5 players find a mission they're interested in, they tell the DM, and then the DM will create that mission. Easy peasy. What's the game duration and frequency? About 3 hours. And I expect to take a 15-minute break every hour. Oftentimes we get caught up in the action, and this can turn into 10 minutes, and maybe it can be like not every hour, maybe like an hour and a half. Just let me know when an hour passes. We'll make sure to get those breaks in there. Otherwise, sometimes we might overshoot a little bit. Where do I keep my character? Character introduction. There it is. And then finally, we use Foundry BTT. So here it is, free to play, no download necessary, right? So here's the article and the requirements for your hardware. Here's a link to join the game. Just click there. After you tell me that you want to play, because I need to create a character for you, and I also need to create a password for you, so that your character, no one will mess with it. It'll be password protected. You'll have that security. You also have the option to create it on D&D Beyond and then import it. So it's a simple press a button and play. Just kind of import the character from D&D Beyond straight into Foundry VTT, so you don't have to go through the character introduction. But essentially, you do need to learn Foundry VTT. There's a few video tutorials that I have on my YouTube channel. You can take a look at that, or you could just take a look in general online. There's a ton of guides for it. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is kind of run through the entire D&D server with you. I'm just going to do a once-over. So you're in the rules section. We just ran through that. Next is general chat. Oh, ton of chatting. We have talking about Arizona, talking about Kentucky. Here is the character introduction, right? So there's a ton of character lore, a ton for different players, different awesome. So it looks like a lot of people have taken that option. It's fantastic. You should take a look at that when you have a chance. It'll get you inspired on how to create your character. Game schedule, right? So that's how we schedule our games. Game journal, plus the videos that we have. You'll find that on my YouTube video. Plus you'll find out the different players that have crafted different summaries of what they saw at the Muscles journey. Very fun event. Paris overcome it. Of course, here we have the player lobby, which is where we organize our games. So that's where we're going to do the next game. Then the role-playing lobbies. So different players are role-playing. Fantastic stuff. And of course, improvements, bots. You don't need to take a look at that. But world building here is going to be for world building. So we offer this world building just to kind of outlines all the different options here. Creating a character, dynamic situations or encounters, factions, unique items. Learn how to DM, and it is an example for a DM. So there it is, and it'll kind of take you to each of those. So for example, if you click Item Builder, here's an example item that someone created. Really nice, and I brought this into the game. Of course, then you have to take a look at the Game of Thrones system. This will walk you through how to create a house in Game of Thrones. This will walk you through what each of the different channels on the Game of Thrones system does. You won't have access to all of these until you confirm that you're playing. But actually, I think you do have access to all of these, so you'll be able to take a look at all of them in the beginning. I recommend you take a look and let me know if you're interested. It'll be really fun, a lot of rewards, and you'll be able to bring a lot of different, different creativity into the D&D game. Be a ton. Be awesome. And that's pretty much it. If you enjoyed the video, drop a like and make sure to put a comment down in the description of your username, just to make sure you watch the tutorial video. It lets me know that you're committed to the campaign. You like it, you enjoy it. Otherwise, I mean, I don't know. That's one of the ways I catch people that don't really like the game, and they're just saying, "Yeah, I read the rules, Austin, but I mean, they didn't put a comment down there, so they didn't actually finish the tutorial." So if you could put your name down in the tutorial in the description, just to make sure that you finish the tutorial, that'd be nice. If you could drop a like or subscribe, that'd be awesome too, but that's not required. That's just, that's just awesome. That's like a bonus. But if you don't feel like it, don't feel pressured to do it. Just drop a comment down there. All right, well, that's it. Thank you for listening.